Just a really quick backtrack today before we get started. I wanted to actually head back to base, and before we get started on our continued journey up north to find a new home, we want to strengthen the flame, and then we're going to head back to the ancient spire and continue on our journey up north. Right, so one of the things we're going to do today, which is actually really easy to do and doesn't require me going anywhere or completing any missions, is we're going to strengthen the flame of our flame altar. Now, what that's actually going to do for us, you'll see it says gain global benefits. So we've now got everything we need for that. You'll see what's going to happen is the flame will go up from level 1 to level 2, and then we'll be able to have 4 altars, and then the shroud passage level will actually decrease as well. So what we'll do is we'll activate that now, and we've got a level up notification, and you'll notice now a lot of what was red in the shroud down here is now blue. So we'll be able to pass through the shroud in a lot of places quite easily now. But what we're going to do now that we've actually done that is we'll craft ourselves a couple more flame altars and leave those on us. So now that we've done our upgrading, we can head back to the ancient spire here and continue our journey up north to find our new home base. So we can fly straight across the shroud here. There's the Elixir well that we just passed through a moment ago. And you can see we're still just on the base wingsuit, so we don't really have a lot in terms of equipment at this stage. Now the reason why I wanted to check this out, there's a twofold reason here. If we just look at a flame altar here, you can actually set up just a base flame altar pretty much right at the front door there, and you can cover about 3 of the buildings here if this is the option you want to use. The other good thing about this spot, and considering it's not really too far from anything, you got a lot of mushrooms there. There's tomatoes down underneath me there as well. This building that we are in here as well already has a few bedrooms and everything that are already set up. So if you're looking for that, it should be pretty helpful. I was a bit silly there. And you'll see there we've got a comfort level of 10 in this building here as well. So that could come in quite handy. All depends on what you want. Comfort level just sort of determines your buffs and all the rest of it that you actually get. Quick little loot up here as well while we're at it. So there's plenty of chests and whatnot to break down up in this zone here as well. So that's one of the parts that I wanted to check out. The other part of the building that I really wanted to check out, and where I'd really want to set my base up, and I haven't set a base up here as yet, but I have intentions of doing so, is just over this way. Right in here. This zone is just fantastic. Now, in terms of sort of prerequisites for what I really wanted to set up in terms of a base this time, and what I sort of think would suit a lot of other people sort of generally early in game as well. If you look just here, we mined a thing called flower soil. Flower soil, you'll see there, it basically just grows flowers. So when you have your hammer and you build, you can place flower soil blocks, and you can make your buildings sort of look like that, but with flowers. Just quickly take this guy down. Now, the other thing about this zone as well that I really wanted to sort of highlight and focus and utilize this time, especially early in game, because I spent a lot of hours last time, and a lot of people don't have tons and tons of hours to spend on building. They want sort of a little bit of a shortcut, but without cheating. One of the things this building actually has is a heck of a lot of space. So you'll see up here we've got there's sort of little rooms up here as well. You've got a big kind of bell tower here on the top part, and you've also got a silver chest up here, which is pretty helpful. And look at that, stone shingle roof block. And you do have a pretty cool view here, which I don't mind. There are better views, but early in game, it's a completely serviceable view, and you'll see just how big this building actually is. It's huge. And the reason why I sort of want to utilize this building and highlight it is if you set up a flame shrine somewhere around about here, I'm sort of just eyeballing, about 40 would be 8. I reckon your build line would come to sort of around here somewhere, so you'd have a place to set up our 2 builders that we've got already. We'll just clear this little space out here. You'll notice as well that there's beds already there, so that's part of what gives these buildings their existing comfort levels. You'll see just there that we've got lore pages as well. But yeah, one of the cool things and helpful things at this stage is that we already have chests that are here, which respawn every half an hour. And downstairs here as well, there's some loot downstairs. And there's also another lore page right there. We are enshrouded here, and there are a couple of enemies in here, but they're locked in, so we don't have a lot to worry about there. But what you do have down here is a silver coffin, which I've already gone through and looted just before, because we did a bit of a dummy run out here. Alright, so just to sort of let you know, now that silver coffin that's underneath us won't respawn if we set our flame up out here. However, what I was getting to before is if we set up a shrine around about here, we'll have just enough at our current level to cover the interior of the building here, even though we don't have all of the equipment or blocks as yet with us, and we don't actually have this block yet. You can rebuild these floors and walls and roofs as well with whatever block you've got, by the way. But our main goal is we can house at least 2 builders here just to begin with, and then as we rescue all the rest of the builders, we can place them in place here and here and here and here. So you'll have place for all 6, plus you've got places for their equipment as well. And also you can set up, you know, I guess storage just down here in terms of walls of storage units and whatnot. So that's extremely helpful. So that's the main reason why I wanted to flag this zone as a place that we're actually going to set up this time, and a place I'd recommend for you to set up as well. I mean, there are other options early in game for places to set up, but this is where I would most definitely go. So before we set up our flame shrine here, what we're going to do really quickly is head on back to our initial starting base. And our goal here is to go down and take out the elixir well that's down near here. This is one of the easier ones to actually take out. And as we're an old hand now with having to deal with elixir wells and not being too concerned about it, we know what to do and how to approach it. So we don't need to worry too much about what we're encountering when we get there. The main reason that I'm coming down to do this now is to try and find ourselves a Shroud Core. So we know what we're in for now at these elixir wells, and this elixir well, because it's at the beginning of the game, has quite easy enemies, so it's not hard to make your way in here. One of the things I'll mention at the top of this elixir well also is there's a silver chest here. So if you're after some weapons or some better equipment, it's a good option to head into that. And as we know, what we'd want to try and do is find our way, quickest way possible to get to the Shroud Route. And here we go. Got a way to get in there immediately. Now, as you'll see here, we've got a boss in here. So this is your first kind of encounter with one of the bosses. And the fell Thunderbrutes are not too bad as long as you stay away from their ranged attacks. So as we have dealt with here, we've discussed that we're trying to do a range build, so there we go. And we've got a new thing there. We've now got a fell Thunderbrute head, and we've now got what's called a tainted axe. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. Alright, so in terms of having a look in our backpack, yes, we finally got a Shroud Core. So that means we can now go and update our flame shrine. Now, we may have to mess around a little bit here, and I'll explain the reason why. You'll notice that I'm rotating the base right now of my flame shrine before I place it. The reason is, you'll see here that there's sort of the two little legs there and the one facing there. If I go back to my map right now and fast travel to my flame shrine, you'll notice that I'm facing to the left when I come back. It's a small little thing. It's an absolute pain in the butt, especially if you travel to your flame shrine quite a bit. It becomes a real pain in the butt. So what you want to do in order to actually get the flame shrine to teleport you in the correct way, what'll actually happen is you will come in to the right hand side of the little single part leg here, the little single leg. So when I fast travel in, you'll see now I'm facing there, so I'll be able to go straight in here, talk to my builders, do my building, whatever I need to do. So that's why we've done that. The other thing to sort of highlight, I guess, as well in this respect is, bear with me a moment, is if we take a look at our build limits right now. So as I was saying before, we've got enough space to put a survivor now just on level 1. So in terms of upgrading our altar, we've only need one Shroud Core, which we got when we went and took down the Shroud Route very recently near our first base. So we've got enough to upgrade this, and you'll see that instead of having the 40 by 40, which is, you'll see here, those are 8 blocks across as we discussed earlier. So we've got 8, 16, 32, you know, the general gist. So what'll basically happen is that'll double our space. So we'll have to somewhere around about here. So we could put 4 survivors in right now, and we haven't even built anything yet. So that's what we're after. and they've got tons of space, and we can go through and fix the roof later on. It's not really a problem. What we're really after at this stage is just a bit of a new place to put all our equipment. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go away really quickly, and I'll move everything over. I'll upgrade the flame, and then we'll get back to you in a moment, and we'll head off on the next leg of our mission.